The first part of Reel-10A finds us in Disney World in December 1975. We're in the monorail looking out at the general scheme of things.
There's Anita and the carousel waving as she goes by. And Anita driving the car. Dad's in there too, but Anita's the driver.
It's great fun travelling in many vehicles, and now we're in another of the many special vehicles you can travel in Disney World.
Anita's got her mouse ears. David's got his Detroit Zoo hat.
And now we're in a more traditional sort of vehicle, a train. And from the train we can see some of the fancy vehicles that are there, including the cable car. Yes, I see David's Detroit Zoo hat, which he had worn on so many occasions, coming into a fairly deserted station. Now we're lining up in Disney World for the main attraction of the day, the parade. Eating lots of ice cream at this time, well before Dad had diabetes. He loved eating ice cream, so he took part like everybody else.
Here's the parade. It was the Bi-centennial coming up right after the New Year, so it's a very American parade, as you can see.
All the usual,
Christopher Columbus in his boat, followed by the Pilgrims.
Yes, Thanksgiving and Christmas come very close together. So
and the Indians.
Right, we're celebrating Thanksgiving as well. Tiger and Jumbo.
Tigger and Pooh, actually.
Well, close enough.
Here's Dumbo.
I doubt if either of the creatures was grievously offended by my mistake.
And here's the Statue of Liberty. This is part of the American theme for this particular parade. And Nita's will dress up as the Statue of Liberty for Halloween. Very costume, not unlike that one.
And that was almost a year later, of course. Because this is December. That was way, the end of October to follow. And now we're in a horse-driven tram, and we seem to be having an absolutely great time. Mother looks very happy.
We're in the tram. You're standing around taking the photographs.
That's true, and the horse doesn't seem to look near as happy as the people getting pulled in it.
It's hard work for a horse.
Indeed. And there's another horse, and he doesn't look too happy either. The old expression, it's a dog's life, seems to miss the point. I think it's a horse's life would be more on target, especially as dogs are treated so very nicely in America. Now we're in a fruit orchard, picking grapefruit and oranges before they're quite ripe enough to easily pick. And there's David struggling to get one to say goodbye to its parent tree.
We stopped on the way to Clearwater every time to pick wonderful citrus fruit and enjoyed it while we were there.
And now we've arrived at the Flamingo Motel in Clearwater Beach, looking right from where we stay at the waves. This is probably the day we arrived. And there we see the three children running into our own unit, and right out of the window of our unit we see that most marvellous beach and the wonderful Gulf. When we went there it was relatively inexpensive, but since that time I have visited Clearwater Beach a number of times, and it's now very upscale and rather unpleasant and very crowded. We're visiting a little village built to half scale. We haven't all grown enormously, nor is this giant gardener. Now we're on the Clearwater Beach sands. David had got a tractor for Christmas. He was going through his tractor phase.
It's the most lovely sand, white and clean. It was a fabulous beach to go to.
David's got a dicer here, I think you call it, but the sand doesn't need disc too much because it's already out. Hey, the waves weren't always so calm. We often had quite rough weather when we were at the Gulf in December, January. You can see it's quite deserted here, and Mum's warmly dressed.
Well, the seagulls are always ready to feed.
They would eat the food right out of your hand.
Even if you didn't want them to.
One of the ones went off with David's hot dog. He was not too happy about the whole episode. But he seems quite comfortable now feeding the gulls. At this time, Anita's 6.5, David's 4.5, and Edwin's 2 in a little bit. Anita finds it very easy to make friends. She's made friends with this little girl. Spent lots of fun time with her. But friends made in vacation just fade away.
Nita's wearing the pirate boat shirt that your mum, Nanny, gave her. There was one for each of the kids with different things on it. David liked his racing cars.
There's Anita with her friend again. Here comes 2-year-old Edwin doing a great job. Very pleased that he did a great job. It's now July 4 in East Liberty, the little town beside where we stay on the farm. And it's the July 4 centennial celebration. Very special in this little town. The family we stayed with, the Johnsons, are all well represented in it. Everybody kind of knows everybody. It's not like what happened in Chicago or New York. Very intimate and very nice.
Grandma's looking at the float with Mrs. Johnson in it. She's playing her accordion. She's there in the second row from the back.
Right. She is indeed. I recognize her very clearly. Now we're back on the farm doing the things that we do on the farm. David with his wheelbarrow. Now feeding the chickens, and we get that feed back in the form of eggs.
We used to go collect the eggs. Grandma and Grandpa came with us to the farm this year. There's the proud rooster and the bunnies.
We didn't eat the bunnies. In fact, we didn't eat the chickens either. We had chicken that was purchased. There was a marvelous pond that we really enjoyed swimming in. We were here with Willie the dog. A wonderful dog was Willie.
Anita now knows how to swim.
With a little additional buoyancy help from the ball. Really was great at the farm.
David's helping Edwin go into the water. That's Amy, the farmer's daughter, swimming there. Oh, Anita splashed David, and he's very unhappy at it. But he's going to get his own back with Edwin's help.
Revenge is sweet. So much fun playing with an old tire, rope and a tree. I'm just really enjoying herself here. Looks very happy. And now she's going even faster with Mum.
Push me more.
I think it was always the high risk taker in the family. Not scared of anything. Yeah. Okay. Oh, don't push Mum too hard. You'll make her frightened.
She made me go round and round in circles. I'm getting dizzy. No, don't push me again.
Oh, Mum chickened out. Now, Edwin's feeding the chickens. Well done. Oh, and well done with that. That's a difficult maneuver. Chickens always seem hungry.
That's our old Biscayne in the background.
Oh, yes. It's 9 years old. Still looking very fresh. And of course it took us everywhere. It took us from home to the farm.
There was a farm cat that loved to sleep under it.
And it held lots of people. It had Grandma, Grandpa, Mum, Dad, and the 3 children all squashed into the Biscayne. Things were much more relaxed in those days. Now it's horse riding time. One of the really nice things about doing the same thing every year was you could see how much the children had grown. Look at how confident Edwin is. And now David and Anita can stay on the horse unassisted.
It's Mr. Johnson taking them. Anita's turn to feed the rabbits.
Yeah, she's a big bag of goodies in there to feed all the animals. We did go to the farm year after year, and you can see why. It was just so much fun compared to just about anything else you might have done in the summer.
There were cows as well as pigs and the other animals we've seen. We're walking up towards the barn where the cows came. Oh, there were goats as well.
Right. Mr. Johnson, the farmer, he was really big into these circular bales of hay before they became as popular as they are now. A far superior way to do it than the more traditional, older square bales. And here I'm climbing on board a tractor. It's one of Mr. Johnson's sons giving me some instruction. I never got totally comfortable with it. As you can see, I'm rolling backwards here when I shouldn't be rolling backwards.
But he's confident enough to get off and leave you to ride off.
His father may not have approved of his being so confident. But here I go in the tractor, and I'm riding off into the sunset, a fitting way to end the first part of Reel 10.